Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Code podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing something that will help you to take the action that you've been waiting for very long time. Without any delay, let's get into our podcast. Are you feeling stuck? You have so much potential and you are capable of doing so many things, but somehow you're not moving forward. Somehow you're not taking actions that you're supposed to be taking. If you are that person, you're not alone. I've been there for several times. And in today's episode, I wanted to share one transformational journey that I gone through and that created 100x return. Yes, you heard it right. 100x return, not only on my financial side, most importantly, on my confidence side. So stay tuned for this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Code podcast. I'm your host, Vamsi Polimetla. I wanted to take you back to almost 27 years, back to 1997. I just completed my polytechnic diploma and I was about 19 years old and very, very energetic and a lot of passion for many things. So I was experimenting few things in my career during that time. I came across a programming language named Foxpro. Somehow I got really, really uh, interested in that and I started spending so much time inside the computer lab and I give myself like a maximum time to sit inside the lab and start programming it. Eventually I became really good at that too, and someone offered me a good job during that time for a 19-year-old, and I said immediately yes to that job. So things are going pretty well. I was learning so many new skills. I was helping other people with the technical assistance. Since I came from Telugu medium background, I was having some issues with my communication, and I reached out to a couple of the managers in that company, and they said like, Vamsi, you're really good with your technical skills, but your communication, you need to improve your communication. I was almost like a zero point 0.1 out of 10 on my English at that time because I came from completely like a Telugu medium background and never interacted with anyone who communicates in English. So I tried and tried and tried, but I was not really paying too much attention. I was building my technical stack during that time, and things are going well. And I was there for almost like a close to 3 years. Around 2000, beginning of 2000, I got an opportunity to go to Singapore, and this was like a completely outside of my comfort zone. Without any hesitation, I decided I wanted to say yes to the opportunity. And I got my visitor's visa to go to Singapore and a one way ticket. And I was very excited. At the same time, I got really, really nervous because I'm first time leaving my home state and going to a foreign land that I never been, and also going to a place where everyone communicates in English. I landed there and I started applying for jobs. And I thought my technical skills are going to get me the job that I was looking for. Unfortunately, they said we can understand, but the way you're articulating, I'm not sure you will be fit for this position. And I got rejection after rejection. And within no time, my confidence levels went from almost like a 10 to maybe 2. And and but I did not give up. During that time, I made a one really, really important decision. And that decision completely changed my life. And the decision was I am not going to go home until I get my job. And I wanted to fight, I wanted to work hard to get through these interviews. Even though English was not my first language, I really, really prepared well. I really, really practiced hundreds of times on the way I wanted to articulate. I used to write down every single thing on my paper and I used to go for interviews. So after 3 months of hard work and 3 months of like a mental preparation, I got my dream job. So there is a big lesson in this journey. The lesson is about Parkinson's law. The reason I'm recording this episode, I wanted to share the power of Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. And I wanted to expand on this. So basically, this law says that whatever the amount of time that you wanted to give it to a task, that's exactly the time that is going to be taking. I know I need to improve my communication skills for many years when I was in India before going to Singapore. But I was not 100% serious. I was just trying something to put a check mark out there. But still, I was not going all in. But because the situation demanded me, I went all in with taking my communication skills to the next level. that that force, I have no other option, I have no other choice, other than succeeding in that point. And I was able to not only uh, complete that interview, I was able to thrive in that role. Within no time, I became a leader for that the project that I was leading. So there are so many lessons with the Parkinson's law. I wanted to simplify this and I wanted to share a couple of examples for you. For example, if you are going for an international trip, let's say you're going for maybe your 4 week vacation to India, and you know, you have maybe 40 things that you wanted to complete before your travel, and your travel is just 1 week away. And you complete all the 40 things that you wanted to do before your trip. Whereas some people, they have 6 months for their next vacation and they have 40 things to complete before their vacation. And they take exactly 6 months to complete all the tasks. So, what is the difference between completing in a week and completing in 6 months? It's basically you compressing the timeline. The moment you compress the timeline, you can do so many magical things. That is the point. So I know you might have so many goals ahead of you. Maybe you wanted to become a senior vice president, or maybe you wanted to give your first TEDx talk, or maybe you wanted to write a book, or you wanted to start a business. Whatever the task that you have in front of you, you can do that for maybe in the next 3 years, maybe in the next 5 years, maybe in the next 15 years. Or if you really, really wanted to do in the next 3 months, it is possible. The time it will take to complete the task is the time that what you are giving. That's exactly what Parkinson's law is saying about. There are a couple of tactical things that you can do to complete this in the short term. And the most important thing that not many people they do is they're trying to do everything all at once. No, first you need to come up with what is the 20% effort that will create 80% of the results. The moment you create that 20% in front of you, you will get a really good start. You start with that 20% and you create minimum viable product. And the minimum viable product will create a big momentum for you. So don't wait for 6 more months, don't wait for 12 more months to start something. Start something right away so that you can create some momentum. Listen, this episode is not about me or my work, what I created in the past. This episode is about you. If you commit to the goal that you have in front of you and you compress the timeline, it's all about elimination. It's all about reducing your tasks. A lot of people, they think they need to do 100 things to be successful. But, the elite only focus on one or two things and they go really, really deep on completing those one or two things. So, here is the challenge I want to lay out for you today. If you are truly serious about creating your future, why not bet on yourself for the next 12 months? Yes, if you can bet on yourself for the next 12 months. That means you are start saying no to the things and start only working on the things that are going to be creating your future. And within 12 months, you're not only achieving what you wanted to achieve, but also you become the industry leader. Yes, that's possible. I created this many times and I helped many people to create in this journey as well. So you can apply this Parkinson's law. Whatever the dream that you have, the dream could be you wanted to start a business and make maybe first couple of $100,000. You wanted to become a TEDx speaker, or you wanted to become a senior vice president. Whatever that goal is, if you really bet on yourself for 12 months, compress the timeline, and you can achieve the progress that typically any person will take about several years, maybe a decade to do that. Whatever the time that you are giving it to the task that you wanted to be finishing it, that's exactly the time that is going to be taking it. Parkinson's law, the time that you are giving it to any task is the time that is going to be taking it to complete the task. Don't give more time, just compress the timeline and see what magic that you can create in this given time. All right. Thanks for tuning into one other fantastic episode of the Greatness Code podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone and also subscribe for my next episode. Until then, keep doing great things. Vamsi.